Alright, who's ready to figure out what happened? Did people find things? Are we stuck here forever? Let's find out. Okay, from far away, Junpei heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m.
I better get back to the others.
Hopefully somebody found something. He jogged through the entrance of the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there.
Huh?
Who's missing? Ace, Santa, Clover, June, Seven, and Lotus. Is Snake missing? They had gathered in front of the door numbered 8. Or perhaps, to be accurate, they had gathered in front of the red next to the door numbered 8.
What are they doing over there?
Maybe go see. Had one of them found the missing piece?
What happened, guys?
It was June who answered him.
Junpei, look!
She was pointing at the red. He pushed through the others until he stood in front of it. Oh. What? Immediately, he knew what she had meant.
Vacant?
Junpei sighed.
Come on, guys. Who was it? I thought we were supposed to yell if we found it.
Did it just not open until 1 a.m. or something?
Well...
Junpei wondered why she was hesitating. The others looked as confused as June, but kept their mouths
What the
shut.
hell? What is up with you guys?
They all knew something he didn't, and Junpei wasn't about to leave things that way. Finally, Lotus frowned and spoke.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know.
You don't know?
When I got back, it was already like this. There was no one else here.
Yeah.
That means I was the first one back, but the missing parts were already back in the red.
Oh, what?
What? Let me see.
Junpei looked at the bottom of the red again, just to make sure. The slot had been open and the bottom was now covered with metal. I feel like it looks the same as it did
You're
before.
right. It's in there. What about the other 2?
They're the same.
Let me take a look.
Junpei quickly examined the other 2 boxes.
It's just as you said.
Satisfied that they were also repaired, but still very confused, he returned to the others.
Alright, I just want to be sure here. Nobody has any idea what the hell happened here, right?
Where's Snake?
Correct.
None.
Ace and Jude nodded silently. Seven raised his hands as if to say, "Not me," and Santa just shrugged. Yeah, where's your... Is he your brother? I forget. Only Clover lowered her head and did nothing.
Wait a minute.
That was when he noticed.
Where's Snake?
Yeah. Junpei swept his eyes across the room a second time, but Snake was nowhere to be seen.
Does that mean that he found them?
I've no idea. There's nothing to suggest it. But nothing to suggest he didn't either.
I don't suppose we'll know until we can ask him in person.
Where is he?
Well, whatever he did or didn't do, he's pretty damn late. What the hell is he up to?
Maybe he's lost.
Yeah, well, that seems likely. Dude can't see. I don't know how he gets around in the first place.
Yeah. Clover raised her head.
No! That's impossible!
What? Suddenly she was shouting.
Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really great hearing. He can get around as well as anyone who can see.
Why are you so upset?
So he couldn't get lost. That's impossible.
Oh, could you like not find him? Clover had started to shake and knuckles of her hands had gone white. She spun around, but before she did, Junpei noticed tears welling up in her eyes.
I'm gonna go look for him!
Okay. The words were barely out of her mouth when she began to run.
Hold on, Clover. Wait.
Junpei cried out to her, but he was too slow. She kept going, and before anyone else could react, she was gone.
That didn't work. Damn it. What should we do now?
Well, the red is working now.
No! We're not leaving 2 people behind! We should go look for them!
Yeah, we can't leave 2 people behind because then they can't go through any doors.
Oh man, this ain't good.
Oh, yes, what an excellent idea. We just wasted a bunch of time looking for some piece of electronic junk. Now let's waste some more by looking for a couple of idiots.
Then remain here if you feel you must, but there's no time.
I mean, some people could, if there's enough people, at least 3 people who don't want to look for others, and their number matches up with the door, they could just go on ahead.
We've only 5 hours left.
Junpei and the others nodded to one another and took off at a run. But it's assumed that we kind of all have to be going through the doors. Like, if 3 people went through these doors, I imagine they would end up at another spot where multiple people would meet up again, and it's very unlikely that they would come across another door that their 3 numbers add up to. In front of the stairs that led to B deck, they decided to split
Let's
up.
split up.
All right, I'll take this direction.
Then I shall look that way.
I'll be over here.
See you all later.
Soon, only 2 of them were left. Those 2 were Junpei and June, who had a few steps behind the others.
All right.
Oh, who had been a
we
few
should go
steps.
too.
Yes, let's go! But where should we start?
Let's see.
So we're all gonna wander around without any, like, meetup spot or, like, time that we'll meet up again. We're all gonna get lost now. There's a casino? Wait, where did everybody else say they were gonna look? Okay, the casino, first class cabin, hallway with all the rooms. Back to the large hospital room. I wanna go to the casino.
How about the casino on B deck?
Okay, let's go, Jumpy.
They took off up the stairs at a run. Before they knew it, they were there. So was Lotus. She was leaning against the wall, examining her nails.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
She glanced up at him, unimpressed.
Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Snake.
In your nails?
I'm just not seeing it.
Really? Maybe you need to look harder.
I don't think that's the problem.
Oh, by the way, I've got a proposal for you 2. Care to hear it?
Are you gonna be like... Hold on, let me think of about this first. What's your number? 8? 8 and 5 is 13, plus 6 is 19. No, that doesn't work. I was gonna be like, is she gonna be like, hey, you know, if we reach the end and we need to leave others behind, let's team up and go through the number 9 door together. Oh my god. Whatever.
What is it?
What?
Well, I don't like to beat around the bush, so I'll get right to it. Why don't we team up?
No.
Team up?
Yeah. What? You need me to explain it to you? I'm saying, why don't we go through a numbered door?
No.
Even if we wanted to, that's impossible.
Why?
Jumpy's bracelet number is 5, mine is 6, and yours is 8. Our
Yeah.
digital route would be 1.
Exactly.
But there's no number 1 door in the large hospital room.
I like how they have to like clarify by showing the map.
The only doors there are 3, 7, and 8.
Then we add another person.
Huh?
Who?
What? Isn't that easy? 7.
Oh, if we add 7, 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7 equals 26. The digital root of 26, 2 plus 6 equals 8.
No, I want to go through the number 7 door though. Then the 4 of them could go through the number 8 door, but
Wait a minute. What about the other 4?
yeah.
Ace, Snake, Santa, and Clover.
Yeah, what would they'd be what, 1, 2, so 3, 6, and 4, that'd be yeah, no, we can't do that.
Well, why don't you add them up?
That wouldn't work. They'd be 10.
1 plus 2 plus 3 plus
So it'd be
4,
1.
and 1 plus 0 equals 1. The digital root for those 4 would be 1.
That's right.
And you know the number 1 door isn't in the big hospital room, right?
Of course I know that.
No! Are you saying you'd leave them behind?
Of course not. What kind of woman do you think I am? Once we get off the ship, we could come back and rescue them. Couldn't we?
Sure.
Then we wouldn't really be leaving them behind.
Don't try to lie to us. I don't think you'd do anything of the sort.
Because if we all, I already like said this before, but if one group of people went through a single door and left everybody else behind, the chances of us like finding the exit after that one thing is like pretty low. I think we would all have to like go through and then do more number math again to go through more doors.
Really? Why do you think that?
You remember, don't you? We have less than 5 hours left. Even if we manage to escape, there's
There
no
wouldn't
way
be
we
time.
could come back to rescue them in less than 5 hours.
Well, you never know until you try.
No, you're not thinking this through. Even if we brought 7 with us, we wouldn't be able to get off the ship.
I don't even think 7 would agree.
4 of us couldn't open door 9.
Yeah. See?
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Yeah, that's right. The digital root for the 4 of us would be 8, so we'd have to add Ace to make 9.
That's right. Unless we bring Ace too, we'll be stuck.
Lotus scratched the back of her ear.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
She didn't even think it through. Oh my
Unfortunate.
god.
That's all you have to say?
She didn't sound particularly bothered by what Junpei said. Nor did she seem particularly surprised.
Well, let's try and find another way, okay? A way to get out of here with all 8 of us.
That's impossible. Are you being serious? And you do know that only 5 people, at most, can go through one of the numbered doors, right? The number 9 isn't going to be an exception to that rule. Regardless, at least 3 people will get left behind.
Well, I haven't done the math for it, so this could be wrong, but couldn't you have 5 people go through and then 3 people go through? I don't think the math will add up perfectly, though, so yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
The moment he said it, Junpei felt a chill run down his spine.
Wait just a second. You're skipping over a really big detail.
Yes, what she said was true, but how Lotus could remain cavalier about so terrifying a prospect was beyond him.
Really okay? That means 3 people will die in the end. Are you okay with that? That's just...
Lotus's forehead furrowed. Her forehead furrowed?
You think I could have a moment alone?
No, I want to go to the
There's some
casino.
things I need to think about.
You go away. Go. Bye. Junpei and June began walking away from Lotus.
That didn't turn out to be a very pleasant conversation.
Yeah.
Junpei's heart felt heavy and his steps sluggish. But he told himself pessimism would get them nowhere. Ugh.
Well, regardless,
So he forced himself to smile and turned to
let's
June.
just focus on finding Snake for now, okay?
Yes, you're right. We can think about those other things later.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. Where should we go next?
We didn't even get to look at the casino! Okay. Let's check out the first
Let's
class
go take a look
cabin.
at the first class cabin. It's really close.
I want to see how the rich spend their days. They turned around and took off down the hallway to the left. Outside of the class cabin, they found Clover. She was standing in front of the wall. She was staring at a meaningless point on the wall, her eyes blank. Why is nobody, like, actually looking? What is going on? I'll talk to her.
Are you alright?
Oh, does this mean I won't get to look in the cabins? He did his best to sound friendly, but Clover didn't respond.
Look, I know you're really worried, but...
He could think of no words to say that didn't sound hollow and fake. Clover was so consumed by worry and fear that Junpei feared it would crush her. Her actions didn't surprise him. She had suddenly lost her brother, who she seemed to have been very close to.
Alone.
Her voice was thin and barely audible.
Alone.
Hmm?
Alone.
What?
I said leave me alone!
She was suddenly screaming.
You're so annoying! Just go away and leave me alone! Just looking at you guys is pissing me off!
Why are you so
Go
angry?
away, okay? Just go somewhere else! Stop bothering me!
Now you're just being suspicious. Such anger and hate. June's eyes had gone wide in surprise as
Why
well.
are you still here? Did you hear me?
I don't understand what's going on. Why are you angry about your missing brother and just standing in the hallway? Hello?
Fine, forget it. If you aren't gonna leave, then I'll just...
Alright, let's go, June.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to actually look at these rooms. But I also want to talk to people. They turned and left Clover. As they did, Junpei glanced back over his shoulder to see Clover wiping tears from her face. Clover had driven home the misery of their situation, but Junpei told himself that getting depressed would get him nowhere but depressed.
We really need to find Snake, for Clover's sake.
He did his best to push away the misery and depression and forced a smile.
Where do you think we should go next?
Wait, I can go back to the casino? Let's go to the casino again.
Casino.
Let's go take a look.
They turned and headed off down the hallway to their right at a jog.
There's no one here. Let's try somewhere else.
Oh. All right, okay. So the hallway here is the casino. The hallway with all the rooms.
Let's go back downstairs and check out that hallway with all the doors.
Together they ran down the stairs.
Oh, it's Ace.
Ahead of them, further down the hallway, they spotted Ace.
Hey, Snake! Where are you? Answer me if you're there!
What should Junpei do? Run, do Ace.
Let's go.
With June in tow, Junpei jogged to Ace. Hearing their footsteps, he turned to greet them.
Ah, hello there. Snake is... Well, that's obvious, isn't it? I assume you haven't found him yet?
Yeah, doesn't seem like you're having any luck either.
I really wonder where he could have gone.
Well, wherever he's disappeared to, we must find him as quickly as we can. For Clover's sake.
Snake was a little bit of a suspicious guy at the beginning, so I don't know if he's actually, like, lost or if he's purposely doing something.
Right.
June's face looked kind of enraptured.
By the way, do you think Clover and Snake are really siblings?
Why would you say that?
Well, because when we asked if they were siblings, Clover was blushing at the beginning. I didn't say anything about it, but... Why would you say that? The question seemed somehow odd to Junpei.
Why? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? They don't look alike at all.
Ace looked at him for a moment and then spoke.
Yes, you know, now that you mention it, they don't.
I mean, that's also true.
Still, there are a great many siblings who do not look like one another. It certainly isn't rare.
Junpei wasn't sure why, or even if he was seeing what he thought he... What? Junpei wasn't sure why, or even if he was seeing what he thought he was, but he could have sworn that Ace's face tightened as he spoke.
At any rate, we really must find Snake as soon as possible.
Why is everybody being
The
weirdly
clock is
suspicious
ticking.
now?
We really can't afford to waste any time.
Yeah, we can't waste time by hiding information or anything.
Very well. Let's get back to the search, shall we? You can leave this area to me.
All right. Let's go, Junpei.
At June's urging, they left. So are we just checking places that everybody else is already checking? They found themselves back at the stairs, but Junpei's mind was in turmoil.
That was... I'll think on it later. Like Ace said, finding Snake is our top priority.
Junpei did his best to clear his mind.
All right, where should we go next?
Okay, well, we checked all those already, so we'll go back here.
Why don't we go back to the big hospital room?
Okay, let's go then.
They turned and headed back towards the large hospital room.
Hey, wait, that's...
On their way to the large hospital room, Junpei and June noticed Santa standing next to the number 3 door.
Santa?
Junpei paused. What should Junpei do? Talk to him. Junpei and June walked up to Santa.
What are you doing?
What? You can't tell? I'm checking out the red.
Why? Is there something bothering you?
What? It's not bothering you?
Huh?
The guts of this red.
What?
Why wouldn't you wonder who the hell put it back in here?
Oh, okay. I was like, the guts, huh?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm curious too, but...
Who do you think did it?
I mean, so far it seems like Snake is the most suspicious person. But I don't know. Santa's eyes narrowed as he looked at June. She shook her head.
I don't know.
Well, what about you, Junpei? Who do you think fixed this thing for us?
I don't think it was Lotus. Why would it be Lotus? Someone other than the 8 of them. 0.
Well, it seems like it would have to be Snake, wouldn't it? Maybe he got back here before any of us. He found the parts somewhere, put them back, and then went through one of the numbered doors.
Wait, why would he go through what?
No, it's not possible. You have to authenticate with at least 3 people, or the red won't open the door.
And he only had the number 2 as
There's
well.
no way a single person could get through there by themselves.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It was a stupid mistake, and Junpei knew it. How had he made such a foolish miscalculation, and how had Santa noticed it so quickly? Perhaps he just wasn't as clever as he used to be. Junpei shook his head, sadly. I mean, I wasn't trying to say that he went through a door.
So, in other words, one of us is the person who fixed the red.
Santa grinned.
Bingo! We have a winner.
But if that's true, then the person who did it doesn't want the rest of us to know that they fixed it.
Why?
Yeah,
But why?
no idea. Maybe if they come clean on that, it means we'd find out something else. Something bad.
Something bad?
Dunno. But whatever it is, it's gotta be worth hiding. Of course, It could have something to do with Snake's disappearance.
Yeah.
You think maybe they did something to Snake?
Yeah.
Junpei stared at Santa. There's something about him that made Junpei wary. At first he'd assumed the other man wasn't terribly clever, but Junpei was beginning to think he would need to reevaluate that assessment. When Santa spoke again, his voice was quiet.
If you trust anybody in this game, you're gonna lose. You've gotta be careful. The person you trust the most could turn out to be the one who stabs you in the back.
June is 0. That's the new theory. June is 0. She's the villain. With that depressing suggestion, he turned and quietly walked away.
And that's that, I guess.
Junpei and June looked at one another and smiled awkwardly. Where would they go next? I feel like we've searched everywhere. I'll go back here just in
Why
case.
don't we go check out the first class cabin?
All right, let's go.
No one's here. Maybe we'll have more luck, but where?
I just want
Why don't we go back? We
a
can take a look at
quadruple
that.
check.
Okay, let's get.
Oh, nobody's here.
Okay.
Let's look somewhere else.
But where?
Wait, what?
Why don't we go back to...
Okay,
Now there's no finished searching option?
I don't think anyone is...
Done. They looked everywhere they could think of, but Snake was nowhere to be found.
Snake hasn't been anywhere we've searched.
Lotus looked around at 6 frustrated faces and spoke.
And we can't keep looking for him. Wherever he is, it's not here. We need to get moving.
Junpei couldn't disagree with what she was saying. Snake seemed to have completely disappeared. There was no point to wasting any more time. The others seemed to be having similar thoughts, but they stayed silent. Finally, 7 spoke.
We don't got a choice. Lotus is right. We're not gonna find Snake. There's a problem, though. We've got to figure out who's gonna go through which door.
Yes, I have a proposal.
She walked back and forth across the floor, her heels clicking against the wood. Finally, she stopped.
Why don't we decide on one person to sacrifice?
What? Why?
Sacrifice?
Well, perhaps that's a bit of a harsh word, but yes.
Do our numbers not add up properly?
You've all figured it out by now, haven't you? We can't all make it through those doors.
Can we not? How many of us are there? 7? 3 and 4.
If we split into 2 teams of 4 and 3 people respectively, then 3 people will be left behind.
Will they?
If we split into 2 teams of 5 and 2 people respectively, then 2 people will be left behind.
Wait. So you're saying 3 and 3 people?
But if we split into 2 groups of 3 and leave one person out, then only one person will be left behind.
Wait, I'm so... Leaving behind 3 people with 2 teams of 3 and 4. What? Not sure. Junpei wasn't quite sure that
Wait a
was
minute.
true.
2 people get left behind if we split into 5 and 2. And 1 person is left behind if we split into 3, 3, and 1. I got that part. You can't go through the numbered doors with any less than 3 people. But if we split into 4 and 3, then why do 3 people have to be left behind?
Just run the numbers.
I
Let's
don't
say we
feel
go
like
through door
it.
7.
You do it for me.
With 1, 4, 5, 6. Who's left over?
That would be 3, 7, 8.
Okay.
And what's the digital route for that?
a number.
3 plus 7 plus 8 is 18, so add 1 and 8, 9.
Exactly. But door 9 isn't here, right? That means 3, 7, 8 won't be going anywhere. That was just an example, of course. There are a lot of different combinations, but the result will always be the same. It doesn't matter which 4 it is. The 3 that are left over can't go through any of the doors. Go ahead and calculate it if you have the time. You'll see. Anyway, that's how it is. Now, if we can get back to my proposal. We only have to sacrifice one person if we split into 3, 3, and 1.
Okay. Can it be you?
Then you're saying we gotta decide who's gonna stay behind.
Yes, we do. Given our circumstances, it's logically and morally the best solution. If the other 6 are to survive, then one person has to sacrifice themselves.
No, that's too cruel.
What's so cruel about it?
To just sacrifice someone like that?
Then what's your plan? Maybe we should sacrifice 2 people instead of just 1.
That's not what I meant. We shouldn't sacrifice anyone.
I told you, that's impossible. Wake up.
Whoa, whoa. Calm down, you two.
Santa stepped between Lotus and June.
Look, what Lotus is trying to say is, you should aim to bring the greatest amount of happiness to the greatest amount of people, right?
Exactly. That's how democracy works. And for that reason, I think the only fair way to decide who will be sacrificed is through a vote.
Why?
No, that's terrible.
I'm not asking you. Shut up. What about you, Santa?
Me? Well, I agree, I guess.
All right, that's 1 vote for. Counting mine, that's 2. 7.
I can't say I agree with you, but we don't exactly have a choice. If we don't do something, we're all gonna die.
Oh, glad to see you get it. If I can get 1 more vote, then it's decided. What about you, Clover?
Oh, well, I actually forgot she was still here. I mean, her maybe brother, isn't here anymore. So she's probably going to be the obvious one for people to, like, want to leave behind, right? Clover had moved away from the group and was sitting on one of the beds. Her whole body drooped. Junpei didn't know if she'd even heard Lotus's proposal.
Hey, Clover.
Lotus walked over to Clover and gently laid a hand on her shoulder.
Your brother has to be behind one of the numbered doors.
What? Does he?
We've searched everywhere, but we didn't find him. Doesn't that mean he has to have gone through one of them somehow?
How? Clover slowly lifted her face.
Let's go look for him together, okay?
Alright, well now you're making it harder for her to go with your plan to choose who to leave behind.
We sacrifice one person, and we can go look for him. You agree with me?
So are you just gonna go through everybody being like, do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? And whoever doesn't agree, you'll leave them behind?
Right.
Okay.
Clover nodded once.
The motion carries.
Lotus spun around and walked toward Junpei.
Now, let's start a vote too.
That won't be necessary.
Ace had barely spoken for Lotus's entire speech, and everyone jumped a little. 6 pairs of eyes turned to look at him. Is he going to volunteer to stay behind? He didn't seem to notice or even care.
I will stay.
Yeah.
That should solve our problem, yes?
Ace, what are you saying?
Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
No, you can't do that. That won't solve anything.
I mean, it does solve this problem, so you can't say it doesn't solve anything. June's voice shook as she looked around desperately for someone to agree with her. Ace simply looked at her.
I'm afraid you may have misunderstood me. I said I would stay, but I never said I would sacrifice myself.
Do you mean you're gonna stay and try to keep doing stuff?
I
or-
trust you. Each and every one of you.
Oh, is he trusting us to come back and get
I
him?
believe you'll come back for me.
Okay. That's
Whoa,
a
whoa, whoa.
lot of trust.
There's optimistic, and then there's just nuts. Those doors only go one way. You go in, you don't come out. If we go through them.
You won't be able to return, correct?
Yeah.
True, but that will not be the case once you've escaped from the ship.
What?
Please, I beg you. Once you've escaped, come back and rescue me. Ideally, within the time limit Zero has given us.
No, that's ridiculous. There's no way we could get back in time.
Finally, Junpei could hold his tongue no
We've
longer.
only got 5 hours left. We don't even know where the hell we are. How on earth are we gonna find someone to come and rescue you?
Then, perhaps you would prefer to stay instead of me?
What?
Or perhaps you would be willing to leave June behind?
No, I see. He's trying to convince us that he should stay. Ace's voice was dignified and without a hint of cruelty or malice. Junpei had no
You
rebuttal.
see, there's no other choice. Then I see we've come to our conclusion. Go on. Don't worry yourselves about me. Go, quickly.
Junpei stood, frozen by indecision, unable to move. June bit her lips so hard that Junpei feared she would break the skin. Santa stood against the wall, calm and aloof. Seven tore his beanie from his head and turned it over anxiously in his hands. Only Clover stared at Ace, with an expression Junpei was unable to decipher. Lotus's attitude, however, was different from the others.
Let's accept his kind offer then.
She smiled, her eyes bright. Ace answered with a smile of his own.
Good. I think this is the best for me. Perhaps I'll be able to take a nap. It may be my age, but I get tired so easily these days.
As he spoke, Ace lowered himself onto the floor next to one of the beds. Why not lie down on a bed? From somewhere deep in the ship, Junpei suddenly heard the screeching of metal on metal. Oh, hello. A pop-up popped up on my computer and the screen went away. From somewhere deep in the ship, Junpei suddenly heard the screeching of metal on metal. From somewhere deep in the ship, a pop-up came up and destroyed the game. It was almost as if the ship were screaming. Would it really hold until their time limit was up? Already, D-Deck was flooded. In the sudden silence, the only sound was the sad metal wail of the ship. Unsurprisingly, it was Lotus who spoke
Well,
first.
what are you waiting for? We're wasting time. Why don't we hurry it up?
As if a spell had been broken, the others began to talk at once.
You're right. We should get going. That's all we can do right now.
7.
Seriously. Honestly, I was getting kind of sick of listening to you guys talk.
You too, Santa? I have to find my brother. Wait, all of you. Let's just calm down and think about this. There has to be a way to get everyone out. There has to be. Right, Jumpy? Say something.
Yeah, let's think. There's gotta be another way.
His words sounded hollow and fake.
Fine. Forget about it. I'll figure it out on my own.
She spun around and ran towards Ace. He had slumped down next to the bed when June grabbed his arm and pulled.
Ace! Come on, Ace. Please stand up. You can't give up yet. We just have to sit down together and think about this. We'll figure out a way that we can all get out of here.
Then it happened. Oh, is he like dying anyway? Ace fell forward. He slumped over onto the wooden floor, his body folded in half, like a boxer out cold.
Ace!
June cried out and dropped to her knees beside him. She put her arm around his neck and did her best to lift him up.
What happened? Ace, say something!
It would make sense as to why he would volunteer to stay behind if he might be dying anyways. She shook him frantically, his eyes fluttered open.
I'm all right.
His voice was weak and slightly slurred.
How are you all right?
This.
He held out his left arm and slowly opened his hand.
A syringe?
What? Soporil. Soporil? It was a syringe in a small vial. The vial was empty. Oh, are you diabetic or something? It had only recently been emptied. A few drops clung to the sides. There was a label taped to the side of the container. It read Saporil Beta. Saporil Beta?
Saporil Beta. What does this do? Did you use this?
Yes. It's just anesthetic.
What?
I'll be fine.
What? What? Okay, now I'm just confused.
Anesthetic?
I found it earlier. While we were searching the hospital rooms. I thought it might be useful later. I didn't think I'd be using it on myself.
Why did you do this?
Didn't I tell you? I'd like to take a nap.
Oh, is he just assuming that if he stays behind, he's gonna die, so he might as well be asleep when he dies?
I really am very tired.
That's very dangerous. To just stick a needle in yourself if you don't know what you're doing. He could have ended up, like, accidentally just killing himself, putting an air bubble in his veins or something. Ace had injected himself with anesthetic to forestall Junpei and June's attempts to bring him along. If he couldn't move, there was nothing they could do. He'd inject himself so that they would be forced to leave him behind. Okay.
Ace.
Is there something you want to say? I just like to sleep a little. Could you keep it down?
No, don't, Ace. Don't fall asleep.
No, it's too late.
You feel warm. So comfortable. I think I'll have a nice dream.
Ace's eyelids drooped further and further, almost as though he were dying.
Ace! Ace!
She shook his shoulder again and again, but this time he didn't respond. Only the gentle rising and falling of his chest told them he was alive. Junpei was relieved to see he was, in fact, still breathing.
Let's get him up on a bed.
He lifted Ace up off the floor and laid him on the bed he'd been leaning against. When Junpei turned around, Lotus gave him a look of pity.
Well, we really don't have a choice now. We can't let his sacrifice go to waste. Right?
Like you even mean that.
You say something?
Yeah, I did.
No, nothing.
Junpei! Get some confidence. It felt wrong, but he had to agree. Then suddenly Santa spoke.
Yeah, but we're not done choosing yet, are we?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, we haven't decided who's going in what door.
I want to go in door 7 if that's possible.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's true.
But if I also don't really want to go with Lotus again.
Enough of this screwing around. Let's decide. You first, Lotus. Which door do you want?
I want door number 8.
Okay, bye.
It's the same number as my bracelet number.
Got it. You're 8. You're next, 7. Which one do you want?
7?
I'll take 7. Can't get along with that old lady.
Yeah.
What? What did you just say?
Her face distorted by rage, Lotus took a step towards 7. He threw up his hands and made a face, like a child caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Me? I didn't say nothing.
You're gonna get it next time.
She shot him a glare that would have melted steel, then turned and stalked off.
All right, who's next?
Why are we just choosing? Santa's gaze moved across the three people left. Finally, they stopped on Junpei.
Which door do you want?
At last. Junpei's mind was already made up. I want to go through door 7. Wait, we can't go through... we can't go through 3 different doors. Hold up. Let me calculate this. If we go through door 7, so that's 5 and 7, 12, which equals 3. So we would need it to go up 4 more. So it would be Clover, right? Me, 7, and Clover. Because that'd be 12, 16. Yeah. Does the other one equal 8 then? That'd be Lotus, who is 8. And him is, that'll be 11. And then 6. Which is 17, yeah. But then I don't go with, June. If I chose door 8, would that make it so that I go with June? That'd be 8 and 5. No, I don't think it... Would it? 8 and 5 and 6. 13. No. It wouldn't. I want to go through door 7 anyway.
I think I'm gonna go with door 7.
Even though I don't really care about either of the characters that I'd be going
Okay,
with.
7 it is.
Yeah.
All right then. That means June's got to go through 8.
Mm-hmm.
What? Why?
What?
Yeah, that's math. That's math. Santa grimaced and muttered angrily to himself, but finally began to
Six
explain.
of us are gonna keep going without leaving anyone behind? There are only 3 ways we can do it.
Plan A.
3, 5, and 8 go through 7, and 4, 6, and 7 go through 8.
Okay. Wait, what? Oh, okay, no, that's great. Wait, hold on. 8? Huh?
4, 5, and 7
Okay,
go through 7.
okay.
And 3, 6, and 8 go through 8.
I don't think we get to go with June any
Or
of the times.
3, 6, and 7 go through 7.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 8 get 8.
Okay, which is better here? Well, we want to go through door 7, but okay, so we can either be with Lotus and Clover, which I don't really want, or we can be with Clover and 7, which I don't really want, but it goes through door 7. Or we could be with Santa and Lotus again and go through door 7. I think I'll go with the characters that I don't know as well.
There are no other combinations. In other words, 3 and 4 and 7 and 8 can never go through the same doors. You get it now?
As Santa finished, June looked over to Junpei. Tears welled up at the corner of her eyes. At the corners of her eyes. I don't know what that reading of that sentence was.
You're saying we aren't gonna see each other again for a long time.
I mean, it's not a long time. We have a time limit of 5 hours, so we'll run into each other again. It's fine. Junpei felt just as June did. He wanted to be at her side through whatever trials they were preparing to face. But he knew if they were to survive, he had to swallow his feelings. In order for 6 of them to move forward, he and June had to be separated. He looked at June. He was scared to lose her, but he steeled his resolve, and did his best to smile.
Come on. You're making it sound like we're never gonna see each other again. We gotta split up, but only for a while. This is just like when we went into the 4 and 5 doors, remember? We got split up then too, but we all met back up. I'll bet 7 and 8 are just like that.
You mean they're connected somewhere?
I mean, they are right next to each other, so...
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
She didn't sound very hopeful. It was Seven that interjected.
I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere.
Why? What makes you think so?
If they don't, then neither team can get through door 9.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, the game would end right here.
Very true.
Zero's been on top of his shit so far. I don't think he'd blow it now. I'm damn sure that son of a bitch wants to have his fun as long as possible. He's not gonna end this game until we get through the 9 door.
June said nothing. The tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Junpei. He met them, and with what reassurance he could manage, laid his hand gently on her
Everything's
shoulder.
gonna be fine. We're gonna see each other again. I promise.
June bit her lip and gave him an almost imperceptible nod.
Promise?
Her voice was barely above a whisper. Santa's voice shattered the moment.
You guys are done, right?
He stretched and continued.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Clover and I will both go into separate groups. I figure I'll take 8 and Clover can take 7. Any problems with that, Clover?
Clover looked away and was silent for a moment.
Whatever.
It was more of a dismissal than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care.
All right, we're ready to go then. Let's move.
At Santa's command, the group split and headed for their respective doors. Clover, Seven, and Junpei walked toward door 7. Santa, Lotus, and June headed for door 8. For a long moment, they stood in front of the door. Seven took a deep breath.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
It's open.
This is kind of sucky because so far, 2 of the characters that I would have liked to learn more about, one is staying behind and one is missing. And I guess the other character that I like okay, so this is the order of characters that I like, I guess. I find Snake is one that I want to get to know more, and then I like Santa, and then Ace was kind of interesting, so that would have been an interesting person to get to know. And basically, I'm without any of them. But maybe I'll get to know more about these 2 characters and find stuff that I like, hopefully. A narrow hallway stretched out before them. Seven and Clover leapt through the door.
Let's do this!
Yep, let's
Hurry!
go. The moment they did, their bracelets beeped. The detonators in the bracelets had been activated. Junpei stepped forward to follow them. But as he was about to step over the threshold, he stopped. Oh my god, I'm stumbling over my words. He looked to his right, toward door 8. June stood there, a mirror image of Junpei. She turned and looked toward him. Their eyes met. They nodded.
June.
Jumpy.
Their farewell took almost 1.5 seconds.
What the hell are you doing, Junpei?
Yeah, come on, let's go. Then someone took hold of Junpei's arms and hauled his body... hauled him bodily. I thought it said hauled him body through the door. He heard the sound of the numbered door slam shut behind him. Let's look for the thing, the dead or whatever. His bracelet gave a cold electronic beep.
Only 81 seconds left! No time to waste, guys! Let's get moving!
Go, 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 go. Wait, is that not it right there? Is that not it right there? Seven led his way down the hallway, or led the way. Junpei and Clover followed him as fast as they could. After what seemed like far more than 81 seconds, they reached the end of the hall.
Look! The door on the left! I can see the dead!
There was no time for rest or to catch their breath. All three slammed their hands in quick succession over the scanner panel on the dead. I'm actually surprised that they put their hands on the panel instead of just scanning the watch. Seems a little extra. Yeah, we're all out of breath here. Still trying to catch his breath. Seven leaned heavily against the wall.
It stopped. It stopped.
Why you've done this before. His smile seemed forced and a little crooked.
This is the second time we've gone through one of these numbered doors, but whew, you never really get used to it.
He stood up straight, no longer out of breath, and wiped some of the sweat from his head and neck. Clover smirked at him.
I would have thought a guy your size would have bigger balls than that.
What? What the hell did you just say? Say it again! I dare you!
Alright, let's not fight.
You have no...
You little... You wanna die?
I'd like to see you try.
You fucking brat! Alright, let's go!
No, let's just solve some puzzles.
Calm down, guys. This isn't the time for this. It's not gonna do us any good.
Junpei sighed. Sometimes he wondered if the doors and the puzzles were really the greatest challenge they faced.
Wait here for a minute, alright? I'm gonna go see if there are any other doors.
Yeah, the biggest challenge seems to be getting along with all these people. They didn't respond, but Junpei wasn't in the mood for a conversation anyway.
We just came through this door. And of course it's shut tight.
There's
Obviously.
a short hallway on the left here. And an iron wall. I doubt I can get through it.
At last he gave up and returned to Seven, who was tapping lightly on the wooden door.
This door's the only option we've got, right?
Yeah, looks like it.
Hey, something's written on the door.
What?
On that iron plate.
It says
Where?
operating room.
Oh.
If this thing's telling the truth, there could be body parts inside here.
What?
Well, this is probably not going to be pleasant.
Why would you just assume there's body parts in an operating room? It's not very sanitary for an operating room. Something about it made Junpei feel nervous.
Well, there's no point to standing around. Might as well go in and see what's waiting for us.
Seven grabbed the brass knob and slowly opened the door. The creak of the hinge sounded like the groan of an old woman.
What's wrong?
No, it's nothing.
A chill snaked its way down Junpei's
Let's
spine.
just go.
Quickly, he gathered what courage he could and took the first step into the room. Seven followed, with Clover right behind him.
Huh?
Part of the room just past the door was obscured by a
What
screen.
the hell is this?
Why don't we take a look?
Hey, Clover.
Clover's curiosity got the better of her, and she darted past Junpei to peer around the screen. Is there gonna be a body? Her scream nearly blew out Junpei's eardrums.
Clover!
He and Seven ran toward Clover to see what had frightened her.
Hey, what's wrong?
They rounded the screen, and the cause of her outburst seemed immediately clear. So it's either going to be like random dead bodies. Is it going to be Snake? Because that would be... Okay, it's a dummy.
What the hell is this?
It's just a dummy. Why are you screaming? Why is everybody so... Oh my god, okay.
Is this a corpse?
No. It was something that looked kind of like a human lying across some sort of bed. No, not a bed. An operating table. The table sat on a rusty steel lift and a cluster of bright operating lights shone down on it from the
We
ceiling.
should probably take a closer look.
Yeah.
It's a dummy. There's lines. Look. Slowly they approached. As they got closer, to the body, it became clear that it wasn't a body at all.
This is...
What the hell? That's just a huge doll or something.
Y'all are such sillies. You're so jumpy.
Doll?
Jumpy. Clover did not look terribly comforted. Slowly she approached the operating table and looked as intently as possible, from as far away as possible, at the thing. Junpei could see her
You're right.
relax.
It's only a doll. Man, it really scared me.
She heaved a great sigh of relief and wiped a few drops of sweat from her forehead. Seven smirked.
Well, I guess it would have been weird if you actually had any balls.
Shut it! Don't you start with me, fatty.
Oh, what's this? You want a piece of me, short stuff?
Oh god. I'm starting to miss Lotus and Santa now.
Yeah, bring it on, you whale!
Maybe I shouldn't have.
Hey, guys, not again, okay? Seriously, knock it off. Jeez. Anyway, it looks like he's got something the two of you could stand to have a little more of.
A heart?
I'm talking about a heart.
Huh? Oh, this? You mean on his chest?
Yeah.
I was set in a little higher. Oh, it was set in a little higher than normal for a human body, but from the shape of the organ, there could be no doubt that it was a heart.
Why would there be a heart in a doll?
And why, if this is. Why would it be higher than normal? Why wouldn't it be
I
accurate?
don't think it's a doll.
You think maybe it's like a medical mannequin or something?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be inaccurate if it's supposed to be for medical purposes?
Or maybe it's got more personal uses?
No, shut up. Seven's grin was more than a little perverted. Alright, I regret my decision already. Can we go back? Can I choose a different door? Can I choose different people?
Anyway, how about we take a look around this place? Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, let's split up. I want to be alone. There's so many angles. Seek a way out. You got it, game. Okay. Oh, I don't have voices.
These dolls are really kind of creepy, you know.
Hey, it says something here. John Doe.
You think that's the doll's name?
Maybe.
This thing's creepy.
I wonder why it's on the bed. It's an operating table. Creepy medical mannequin. Apparently his name is John. It's John Doe.
An operating table. Do you think old operating tables looked like this?
I have no idea.
Hey. I wonder what this thing is. It says kg on the display.
Oh, is it a weight? Is it to weigh you? You think maybe it's a scale? A white cloth. A white cloth. Okay, don't look at it, Junpei. That's... Can I not examine the body a little bit more? John is just lying there. I thought we'd be able to, like, look at the heart or something. Whoop. Ah, cool.
Another medical mannequin?
From the looks of it, this one's a chick.
She has a name too.
Jane? Oh, Lucy. Alright. Poor thing. Looks like Miss Lucy only has a head and a left arm.
Maybe we're supposed to gather all of her parts?
Bed doesn't look very comfortable. Okay. Some kind of a device attached to the bed. It says kg on the panel. Is this a scale? So we probably need to get enough pieces for it to weigh the correct amount. Oh god, do I have to click everything? Okay.
They use these for surgery, right? Let's see. Syringes, cups, a plate.
There's a sort of scissorish thing. Kosher forceps? Is that what that says?
Are those scissors? They look kind of funny.
No, that's probably a pair of oh my god, kosher forceps. Surgeon. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. All these words. Surgeons use them during operations. They can hold blood vessels shut and keep tissue out of the way. Right. We can use it to pull stuff out of small holes or something like that. Okay. I assume nothing else. A bunch of surgical tools. Okay. What's this thing? It's got short iron legs. Looks like a stove or an oven. Or
Maybe it's a heater?
nothing inside of it. Okay.
There's a pipe going outside.
Alright.
Maybe you're supposed to heat something like... What? Maybe you're supposed to heat something like that gauze to kill bacteria? There's a boiling thingy over there.
There's nothing on the lid or in the drawers. A body part! Fake chest.
Ew! That's gross!
This is the chest. It's a woman's chest. The heart's gone, but it's pretty hot.
If that kind of thing turns you on, Seven, you're a real creepo.
A thing for boiling, tools to sterilize them. There's nothing in the drawer.
The drawer is empty.
Yeah, there's nothing here. Nothing on the shelf. There are a whole bunch of bottles on the shelves. They all look like medicine. They've got labels, but they're all big medical words that I don't understand. Time to take a medical terminology class.
That's a lot of medicine.
I wonder if one of these is a laxative. Yeah, it sounds kind of gross, but I'm pretty sure every one of us has had the same idea. What? Oh, I was like, what are they talking about? If one of us, if we had, I forgot about the bombs. If we had some laxatives, maybe we could crap out the bombs you're putting us. Unfortunately, damn it. I don't know what medicine does what here. Too bad one of us isn't a doctor. There's a lot of different kinds of medicine. It's hard to tell them apart. Shells packed with medicine. Wait. Was that it? No. A scalpel. A scalpel that's not rusty. Seems like it was put here for a reason, huh?
You think it's telling us to cut something?
Yeah, I do.
None of this other stuff looks useful.
Yeah, it's all pretty rusty. Okay. Thank you, game, for telling me. A medical mannequin with its guts showing.
Ew, gross.
Hey, Junpei. There's a slit in this thing's chest. Yeah, sure is. There's something in there. Maybe we can get it out. Ugh. Damn it. Stinking thing won't budge. It's stuck.
Well, I guess you can't use force on this one then. We need something small that can fit into that little hole.
Like a scalpel? An internal organ, specifically a lung. Okay. Fake organ.
So we took the organ thingy out of the chest thingy.
It's a lung, not an organ thingy.
Huh? This part here on the back, it's all rubbery.
You're right. So it's fake organ. Of course it'd be... Wait. What's 7 grabbing it for? Hey, feels like there's something in here.
You think we can cut through the rubber part?
Combine. Let's try cutting this organ with a scalpel. Organ key? I wanted to read that as original. There's not even an L.
There's a key in this organ.
Found a key in an internal organ. Okay. I'm gonna assume that's all. The organ is organ. Oh my god. Shut up. Everybody just... Really, Clover? I expect more from you.
Oh, like you could do better.
Right. John is just lying there. John is just lying there. Let's go back over here. An old hard bed. Can I not put an old hard bed? Alright, guess not. Oh, I can choose to...
Junpei, where are you going?
That's the door we came through.
The only thing out there is the numbered door.
I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you that the numbered door is a one-way deal. So... You're saying there's no point going back there, huh? And they're nodding. Awesome. It's locked. Awesome, it's unlocked. Alright, cool. This looks like a lot of stuff. There's a note on top of the table. Iron 1, salt 2, water 3. Let's write that down. Iron 1, salt 2, water 3. Carbon dioxide. Well, I won't write those down because they're question marks.
What do you think this is a hint for?
Maybe it's got something to do with this box? This thing won't open. Is it locked?
You probably need to put in a passcode. I mean, geez, they've even got a keypad on here. How much more obvious can you get?
Can only enter 3 numbers. E is for enter, C is for clear. Once you input the number, press E if you mess up. Give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. That's definitely it. Okay. Blue liquid.
Looks like there's something inside that bottle.
Why don't you Why don't you try pouring some out of the out into the cap? Can't see any reason why not. I mean, it could be dangerous chemicals, but let's go ahead.
What's that? It's bright blue. Do you think it's alien blood?
Huh. Where the hell did that come from?
Then what do you think it is, 7?
I don't know. Some sort of special bath soap in a chemical room?
Ugh, what a boring guess. Red, look, haha. I realized I said that right as the screen popped up, but that's exactly what I was thinking. This one's blue, this one's gotta be red. Those are the only two colors in the world. It looks like there's something inside that bottle. Why don't you try pouring? Yep. What's that? It's bright red. Do you think it's blood? No, blood's thicker than that. Then what is it? Beats me. Okie dokie. Let's give it a shot. I didn't actually want to, sorry. Can I not pick this up? Well, look at the first line. Maybe question mark represents number. Yes, obviously. What's this? Looks like a can with a spray nozzle. Oh, sorry. Looks like a can with a spray nozzle. It says CO2. It says a can filled with carbon dioxide. Wait, that was one of the things, right? Maybe I should actually write. Do people mix medicine on this thing? Come on, come on, come on, come on. No. Oh, good stuff. Let's go for a drink. What are you talking about? Talking about that bottle. It says blah blah blah, right? It's ethanol. That's right. It's also known as ethyl alcohol. It's pretty much what booze is made of. So you're gonna drink it? That's not the best. No, I won't. It might say what it is on the label, but there could be anything in there. Yeah. So I'm assuming that we need... Yeah, let's write... Carbon dioxide... and... ammonia... and... ethanol. So I want to write down the chemical. Well, CO2... CO2... What did that say again? It's a bottle of ethanol. The label says C2H5OH. Okay. Hey, Junpei. There's dihydrogen monoxide on the shelf. Why don't you just say water? There's a bottle of water on the shelf. The label says H2O. Maybe I should be writing these down as well. I mean, H2O is H2O, obviously. Labeled. Something stinks. Is it coming from this bottle? It says NH3. Well, that of course stinks. It's ammonia. Right. NH3. Junpei, there's a bottle of iron powder on the shelf. How do you know it's iron? The label says Fe. Fe stands for iron, right? It does indeed. Is it important that I write Fe? Hey Junpei, you think there are any slugs on this ship? What? Huh? Well, if there are, I was thinking we could put salt on them. Dude, why? You just want do you just don't want to see slugs, like, burn? The label states NaCN. Okay.
Salt. Salt, huh?
Do you think 7 will shrivel up if we put it on him?
Hey. You say something? Alright, that's obviously gonna be a puzzle thing. Right. 1 carbon atom and 2 oxygen atoms. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop for a second there, and I'll come back and solve these chemical mysteries, I guess. Time to do. We did math, and now it's time for science.